Hi, welcome back to IATEFL Online here in sunny Brighton, and now we have for your pleasure, I'm going to try and get this right, Marisa, who I've known for ages, Constantinides, is that right? Constantinides from
Yes.
Athens.
The drilling worked.
The drilling does work, so it does help to drill people. I got drilled before we started, so Constantinides.
Yes.
Okay, so Marisa, you're talking tomorrow, that's right, and what are you going to be talking about?
Well, I'm going to be talking about technology in teacher training courses, especially initial training courses like the CELTA, which is one course we're offering at my institution. And you probably know this because we discuss these things online all the time.
Yeah. Part of my PLN. So.
Part of my PLN as well. And I did some research about 6 months ago about the tutors who are familiar with technology and how willing they were to integrate it within the, the program of a CELTA course. And I
are they very willing?
No.
No?
They're not very willing at all.
And this is at pre-service level, so it's beginner teachers.
Yeah.
So what are their reasons for not being willing?
Well, I mean, I have a sample of about 100 people who responded. A lot of them feel it's not their role to teach the trainees to use technology. Some others don't believe in technology at all. And there's a lot of people who are they're not unwilling, but they feel they don't know enough. However, they don't want to learn. So it's quite an important course. 12,000 new teachers take it every year.
Your first experience of teaching as well, a pre-service course, isn't it? So it's quite formative. But do you think, is there any justification in what the trainers feel? Do you think beginner teachers really need to be able to use technology?
I think they need to be able to use technology in the same way they need to be able to use a whiteboard, photocopier. It's it's part of their toolkit. So making a big deal out of some aspects of technology as if they have nothing to do with mainstream pedagogy really doesn't prepare these teachers for classes where they might have to use technology. The main claim is that, well, you can be asked to teach somewhere where there is no technology at all, in which case you're fine. But if you then find another job somewhere else where you do need to use technology, then you don't know what to do.
What kinds of things have you tried to change teachers' minds about this? Because you run a school, don't you? And you have teacher trainers within your school. What kind of things do you do to try and make that cultural shift?
Well, it's quite difficult to change the minds of seasoned colleagues, to be quite honest, mainly because they're very set in their ways. They've got their set of handouts. They've got a timetable blueprint in their mind, and anybody who tries to change that very slightly is really not very well liked. So, but there are a lot of younger trainers out there. And this is terrible to say. I don't mean to say that I don't want to hire older trainers, because their experience is so valuable. I've worked with fantastic trainers who are, however, so anti-tech that they find a way of transmitting that attitude to the trainees, and that's what I think is not good. Is not being anti-tech. And saying, well, I'm not very good with this, but here's someone who can teach you, but it's also being against it, which I find is not very good.
So for somebody who is a teacher trainer and sort of is at that place where they think, okay, I've got to start using some technology, have you got any advice? Where's a good place to start if you need to start using technology in your teaching?
Well, I think if you are going to be responsible, to be quite honest, and do a good job, it might be a good idea to do a short course. There are many very good short courses, and there are many courses also which are free. Every year, TESOL International holds, as you know, a series of free EVO sessions. and it's an excellent course which is called Becoming a Webhead. Many of our friends on Twitter and on Facebook take these courses annually, and they learn how to use a lot of tools. For a very little amount of money, you can go on a paid course and go through the basic tools that you need. But tutors need to be able to understand what wikis are. They should be able to understand what blogging involves, to know about voice tools, recording tools, and things like that.
Yeah.
So things that are not really exotic, they're staple tools for the
A
classroom.
blog has become a staple part. Everyone has a blog these days.
Exactly,
It's not just
exactly.
teachers.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thanks very much, and I hope the talk goes really well, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it will. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Do stay online. We'll be back again with more interviews soon.